It is very genius.
Yes.
And a lovely gift.
Yeah.
You were going to find this she bought this for herself, just an FYI. This often happens. A small pot, a paring knife, a good peeler, some roll, whatever. Ami shows up to my house with gifts for herself, which I appreciate. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Need to Know. I'm Gemma Stafford, professional chef, cookbook author, and the host of Bigger Bolder Baking. And I'm joined, as always, by the lovely Ami Shukla, our culinary director here at Bigger Bolder Baking.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Your jumper.
Oh, thank
I like
you.
that it's jumper season.
I know, it's finally cozy sweater weather season. Yes.
I'm all about it.
I love it.
Do you know what else is cozy season?
What is it?
We're going to hop right into hot from the oven. Fruitcake.
Oh, yes, of course. Everyone's supposed to be making the fruitcake now,
Make
right?
a fruitcake. So I heard this lovely story. This is very nice. A gentleman, Jim Hadfield, a Saskatchewan retiree, is a big fan of fruitcake. And I think 6 years ago now, he went on his own personal Facebook page and asked, people in his community, his friends and family, does anybody like fruitcake anymore? Because he really liked it. And he wondered, is it a thing anymore? Do people enjoy it? Is it, is it done and dusted with? He got a good response and people said yes. And then he offered to make some for people who were interested. So the first year he made 28 loaves, which is pretty successful, right? Yeah. And that was 6 years ago. The last few years into 2023, he baked 276 loaves.
Oh my God. Out of his own kitchen?
Out of his own kitchen.
Wow.
Then it grew to 400 loaves the next year, and now today, 6 years later, 724 loaves.
Oh my God.
Out of this man's kitchen. He bakes off 10 loaves at a time, which is not a lot.
10 loaves at a time, like, but not in a day.
He starts. No. He starts in July. No. Do you know what? I have a fact for you. So he said since he started, he has used 2,000 feet of foil, more than 325 pounds of butter, more than 1,800 eggs. This is a good one. Over 2,000 pounds of fruits and nuts.
Wow.
And every time he does it, it's 300 hours of preparation.
Wow.
He starts, I think, in July. And he holds them for the kind of thing for the holiday season.
So he'll bake them and then freeze them, but he won't start, or he will actually be like dressing, like kind of doing the alcohol, like starting in July.
Yeah, so he bakes in July.
Yeah,
and he what he does is he holds them like you do, like we talked about Irish Christmas cake. He wraps them, keeps them nice and dry. But what he does, the secret to his recipe, and this is very common, is what we call feeding, which is feeding the cake over once a week. I'm not sure how often he does it. He chooses to do rum and Grand Marnier. In Ireland, as you do whiskey or brandy.
Yeah.
But what it does is preserves the cake, makes it extra moist, and makes it last that long period of time.
Wow.
So his secret is basting it in a lot of alcohol. So he went from a personal Facebook 6 years ago to now having a following of fruitcake fanatics. 38,000 people.
38,000 strong. Look at that.
He's a retiree and doing it out of his own kitchen.
Fruitcake is not over.
Lovely. No, it's not over. It's having a resurgence.
This is amazing. Well, I have to say, I always thought about it as this old, I remember eating fruitcake as a kid, or having a piece of fruitcake as a kid and thinking it was it tasted alcohol-y and it had candied cherries in it. And I don't know, I just remember it not tasting good, but everything that you've ever made here, all of the fruitcake, the Christmas cake, everything is so delicious. It's really when you have a traditional fruitcake or the barmbrack that we had a couple of weeks ago, that, it's succulent and tangy and sweet, and I don't know, it has a lot of things going on that
does.
It's not the fruitcake of my childhood.
It's not, and you know what? I think that's the case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So when they think about fruitcake, when we had fruitcake, the fruitcake was good, but you were a child.
Yeah.
But my mom in Ireland, you dress it traditionally for Christmas, so there'll be a layer of marzipan and then royal icing on top. So you were peeling all that stuff off.
Oh, I was going to say, that sounds so good.
As an adult, it sounds good, not as a kid. So you peeled that off, and then you might have eaten the fruitcake and you'd have butter on the fruitcake. But no, a lot of people did not grow up with good fruitcake. I will tell you, I didn't find out how much these fruitcakes cost, but I just personally, as a baker, knowing that it's very important when you're making fruitcakes, puddings, whatever it is, to use good quality fruit. And it's so expensive. And he said he used over the few years, 2,000 pounds of fruit. That is a huge expense. This man is a retiree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope and assume that he's making up for it.
Oh yes, I bet he is.
You know,
yes.
So what a great thing to have found and like to be making. I mean, how wonderful.
Yes, we're gonna actually link his Facebook in case anybody wants to order some holiday.
Oh yeah. Oh, does he do like? Oh, obviously, I guess with like 700 loaves, you could order anywhere from the States. Like, does he ship only in Canada? Do we know anything about that?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, go on his Facebook page and find out. And if you can't get fruitcake and you want to have something special this holiday season, Gemma, this has been around for a little while, but have we ever talked about buttercream boards?
No. I haven't heard of a buttercream board.
Oh,
I'll tell you that for nothing.
It's been. I mean, I've at least seen them for at least through last year. So it's not super new, but it's a very festive, and I want to just bring it up again. But a buttercream board is basically like people are doing these boards where they're like have like a cake board, like a wooden board, and they do these gorgeous designs out of ganache or buttercream, and then they put cookies all around on the side of it. So this is beautifully decorated board, and then you just dip your shortbread or your kind of very plain cookie into the buttercream, you know, and then you get to, it's just a fun way to eat buttercream. It's a really fun thing to bring to a party as people are going to holiday parties and whatnot. So just something to...
I like that.
Yeah.
I do think it's very creative coming off of butter boards,
yes,
which were such a huge thing.
Yes.
I just think about the eating quality of like, I don't normally dip a cookie into buttercream.
That's why I mentioned ganache, because I was thinking about it and I was kind of like, well, it seems like a lot of frosting.
It's creative, I'll give you that. And it's definitely, I'm sure, has a lot of views on TikTok.
It does. It does. Yeah. And I mean, it has like, 2 million, 1.5 million views. Different people on TikTok have, these are beautiful. It's a really fun way to practice your piping technique.
Yes.
And I really do think if you stick with ganache, which is kind of, and you could do like milk, white, and dark chocolate if you wanted different colors.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of nice with like a pretty plain shortbread cookie or something to have like dip in a little chocolate.
That's nice. It's fun, especially if you are creative with, piping nozzles and stuff like that. You can get like, I only know how to do rosettes.
Yeah, exactly.
So mine isn't
Maybe you need to do a buttercream board. The other thing is that if you mess up, you can just kind of scrape it off the board and keep going.
That's true.
So it's like kind of like a perfect your
sit
technique.
Out for ages.
Yeah, because it's ganache. I mean, it definitely can sit out for a day.
Yeah.
And
You're all about the ganache. I was talking about buttercream.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm you know what? I'm going to ganache boards. Also fruit, big like strawberries, or I mean, if you can find good ones, but it doesn't matter because you're dipping it in chocolate. So But like you could do like something that makes it feel less heavy.
Yeah. I get that. I like that. I like that to like mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And on that note, Ami, we're going to go in the mix, and we are talking about holiday prep.
Yes, it's time.
It is time, and I over my years as a professional chef, one of the questions that comes up over and over again is how do chefs make so many meals with so many different elements that are hot, that are cold? How do they get it all to come out at the one time? That's what home cooks and home bakers find. It can be very difficult.
Right.
Working in professional kitchens, you see this firsthand. And you understand why. Until then, I would still be oblivious as to how they do it. I would think some sort of sorcery. So what we're going to do is Ami and I are going to share our tips for preparing for the holiday season, whatever holiday it is, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out, the night before, the day of. So I'm going to start out by saying what I think you should do is come at this like a professional chef and do what we do in kitchens, which is prepare every element and have a plan. Know your recipes. So we're going to get stuck into it here. And you're going to hear me saying this over and over again, is prepare within an inch of your life. And for me personally, as somebody who worked in kitchens, but also as somebody who has hosted Thanksgiving dinner, who is used to cooking for a lot of people in our house, is to be prepared within an inch of your life.
Right. Okay. So then what are you doing to prepare now? It's like 3 weeks out?
So we're 3 weeks out. So this is what I want to say is choose your recipes. Choosing your recipes is where you start.
Right.
Here's the thing. Choose your recipes now. And I know there's going to be so much holiday content over the next few weeks still, as well as my own. But what the best thing you can do is stick to those recipes. If something else comes up and you're prepared, maybe you can afford to throw something else in. But I would say try and just stick to your recipes now, and then you can plan for that. That it's something like you have hot, make sure there's a variety of hot and cold be it no bake, something that utilizes the microwave, a vegetable that utilizes the microwave, a crock pot recipe, be it stuffing or a gooey, my gingerbread pudding. Make sure that there's a lot of variety in your recipes that to ensure that not everything is going into the oven at the same time on Thanksgiving Day. Not everything has to be prepared fresh. We want things that can be made ahead the night before. We want really want to divide and conquer this menu choice.
I absolutely agree with that. Menu planning is always the first thing to do. And I actually just think that it shouldn't even feel like a chore. It should kick you off into the mood of the holidays. So my biggest piece of advice around here, well, first, to speak to being prepared, I say to anyone, you can do anything you want as long as you're organized. Yeah. You can do anything you want. So make an event out of it. Now, I will do, in the next few days, I pull off all of my favorite cookbooks, my baking books, my favorite books off my bookshelf. I put them next to me. I bring my computer so I can peruse websites. I have a notebook and a pen. I pour myself a glass of wine if it's the evening, or a good cup of coffee, maybe something to eat because I'm looking at recipes, which always makes me hungry. So something delicious to snack on. And I carve it out. It's a whole evening, or it's like half a day, or whatever time I have that's just totally to myself. Wear something comfortable, sit somewhere lovely, and read through recipes. Yeah. It gets me excited. It's so fun. I have old food magazines that I know I've kind of stashed aside in an old corner of my house, and I'll pull all those magazines out and I'm like, why did I save this one? Why didn't I, and I'll, rediscover recipes, or I'll think, oh, that one thing that I really want to make. It's so fun. And while I'm doing this, if it's a recipe in a book or a magazine that I don't want to tear out, I will photograph it and print it. And then if it's on a website, I will go print out the recipes. But I find it's not only great to just make a list of what you're going to make, but actually have the physical copies of those recipes of everything that you want to make with you. You can just staple them, put them in a file folder, keep them in your car. Yeah. That way, when you're going to go shopping, you can also just keep those recipes with you, so that if you're thinking, oh, my list says parsley, but I really don't know exactly how much I'm going to need. Yeah. You go and you can go kind of flip through the recipe and say, oh, right, okay, I need a half a cup of that. So this is how much I'm going to need. It's very, very useful to just have the recipe right in your hand, and also print it out, because a lot of times you'll be in the middle of a grocery store and your phone won't load, and it's very frustrating.
Yes. Or can I tell you something else, which happens to me? I find an awesome recipe for sticky pork stir fry, and then I go to make it again. It was I never printed off the recipe.
Right.
I never printed it off. And then you go into your phone and you can't remember which one it is.
Yes.
So Ami, just for those who, going back to how professionals do it, Ami and I print off all our recipes, especially if you want to adjust something, you write it on there.
Right.
It's really useful. And you brought up a good point, which is really important, is read through the recipe, because there could be a technique in there that you've never heard of. I would say, for me personally, you're 3 weeks out now, so you do have time to practice things. I would say, don't make this the time to learn how to laminate biscuits.
Right.
I would say leave that for another time. Leave that for January. You know what I mean? But I would say stick to techniques that you know or that are achievable. Stick to recipes that are achievable and that you feel comfortable with.
Well, absolutely. Well, going back to reading recipes, I do remember one time I was trying to make this amazing roasted beet recipe by Ottolenghi in one of his cookbooks. And you had to cook the beets, which I knew, but then you had to make all these different sauces, and one thing had to bake for an hour and a half, and another thing had to marinate for 2 hours. And I was just doing it as I was going. Luckily, it wasn't for the holidays. I did later on make it for a Thanksgiving side because it was so amazing. But by then I knew. But the first time I had gone around to making it, had this been the day of Thanksgiving, it would have totally stressed me out and I wouldn't have been able to do it. And in terms of trying new things, if you think you might want to try something new, I would say it's okay, just try it now first.
For sure.
Definitely do a test run. It's so fun. You just read about this really cool way to I just made Hasselback potatoes for the first time just the other day, where you kind of thinly slice potatoes and then bake them. And I was like, oh, this is so fun. And this is a perfect Thanksgiving side and a fun and different way to serve potatoes. And it was really nice to know, having done a test run, that it didn't take 45 minutes. It took me an hour and a half to make that, which can really throw you off. But also now I have a recipe that's not totally new, but it would be new for people. The other thing I want to say about that is people are very emotional around the holidays. Mm-hmm. So if like everybody loves your sweet potatoes and everybody likes it the way it is and they don't want it different, but you find another recipe that has, chipotle salsa on it, and you really want to try that, do both. Make it the traditional way and make it the new way. Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to be upset about more sides. Like Thanksgiving is 100% more holiday. Sure. You'll have more leftovers, which is half of the enjoyment of it, is having lots of leftovers. So try your experiments and then maybe have a backup. Or, it's hard if you want to try something new with turkey because turkey's a big bird, but, maybe you try it with a cut. Like some thighs or some legs so that you can try different things.
That's a good tip. If you're the person who is hosting the dinner and taking a lot of the work on, I will say personally, I've since having George, I've gotten really good at this, which I knew from the day that I had him. I said, I'm going to have to start to ask people for help in all aspects of my life. If you are the one who is the chef for the day, ask for help. And by that, I mean, if you're supplying the bird, maybe ask people to bring sides. People, I do find that people genuinely want to contribute and want to help.
Right.
So I would say if people are happy to contribute, then that's great. I think we both agree on this one because Ami and I chatted a bit beforehand about this. I would say air traffic control is an important one. And Ami, you said something about a spreadsheet that I thought was really good.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what I do is if I'm hosting like a big Friendsgiving and I've sent out an Evite, I tell everybody in my message, RSVP, and write in your RSVP, in your message, what you're going to be bringing. And please look at everybody's list before you decide so that we don't get like 5 mac and cheeses, which can happen, and also the other nice thing about having everybody communicate with each other, even if they don't know each other, they're just like, we'll be bringing this, is that you are not constantly fielding questions of every guest calling you and saying, well, what do you think I should bring? Well, what should I bring? I just tell them, I'm like, please just go look at the list. There's, you can just look down the list and see what there is. And if it's a small group, if it's just like family or whatever, just start a group text.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, everybody, just post here. Just let us know what you're bringing so that we know. And it also helps as a host, it's nice to have a salad. No one says they were bringing salad. So either you provide that, or if somebody does ask you, you know what to say.
That's a good one.
And the other thing I'll say about that is that make the things you like to make or the things that you feel like you can't live without. Mm-hmm. And then you delegate everything else.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a very emotional holiday and there's certain things like I'll always make the turkey as the host because I think you're supposed to make the turkey as the host.
Absolutely.
I will always make the stuffing because I like stuffing one particular way and it's very traditional. It's not interesting. It's just mushroom, sage stuffing. That's what I want. Someone else can bring a different kind, cornbread stuffing or whatever, but I'll miss that taste. So I always make that. And then I make all the pies. Mm-hmm. And then I invite everybody. I want people feel very emotionally attached to their things. So I don't want to tell them, well, you bring this and you bring that. I'll just say, bring a side, bring your favorite side. Check the list and make sure that you're not doubling up. And some people really want to bring a pie. Mm-hmm. So I just say, if you want to bring a dessert, bring one in addition to your side. Don't only bring dessert because then I'm always worried that there's not going to be enough sides.
I have a few feelings about this.
Yeah.
Can I just say something that if there is a list, I would say personally what I do is stick to it. Uh-huh. Often what I've seen happen is that the person maybe didn't make a dish that they signed up for. They said they were going to bring a green salad, but then they didn't in the end and they bought a plate of cookies.
Uh-huh.
I would say just as the host, mm-hmm. please kind of stick to what and go buy a salad.
Right.
Or whatever it is, whatever but I'd say just stick to the list because like you said, it's an emotional time. Mm-hmm. The person who is bringing it all together has taken on a lot.
Right. And
it's about making their life easier. And I will say this, before I move on, is with regards to the dishes that people are bringing. Mm-hmm. And something that happened to me before was we had Thanksgiving here. A lot of people showed up and they were all asked to bring a dish. Never dawned on me that the dish that somebody was bringing, Brussels sprouts, it didn't dawn on me that they were raw and not cooked.
Uh-huh.
And they showed up late to Thanksgiving dinner. We were all waiting for them. And then he got into the kitchen and cooked these Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to be able to let that go, but I'm just saying, try. That's what I'm saying. A document, a Google, whatever it is, like Ami said, we'll avoid that.
Okay. Well, speaking of making our lives easier,
yes,
I have to say a fun little treat and another, I'm all about treating myself because I'm going to be doing all sorts of cooking. If you can afford it, this is a really good time of year to get yourself a small, useful gift. Like something that is missing in your kitchen. Like your oven mitts are worn out.
Sharp knives is missing in my kitchen.
Sharp knives or kitchen scissors or,
A chef is missing out in my kitchen.
A new apron, an offset spatula. You have one and you'll always lose it. Get a couple more. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but it's just one thing that is going to make your cooking or your baking just a little easier. And it doesn't, it can cost $10. It can be, it can cost less than that. It can be, fancy if you're feeling fancy. So this year, Gemma, I have something for us.
Oh, us.
I have something for my kitchen, and I have something for your kitchen when I'm in your kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
So this,
I know what this is.
So this, here, that one's for you. So do you know how many times we make pie and we end up the edges are burning and then we have to go get in there and you don't want to lose too much heat in the oven and you're trying to get foil all over the edge of the pie.
Yeah, which is hard because you're touching a hot pan.
And then if it's a custard pie, the foil falls in and it dings the custard. This is a little cover to just rest right on top of the edge of your pie. So it keeps it
very lightweight too.
Yeah.
It is very genius.
Yes.
And a lovely gift.
Yeah.
Well, you were going to find this she bought this for herself, just an FYI. This often happens. A small pot, a paring knife, a good peeler, some roll, whatever. Ami shows up to my house with gifts for herself, which I appreciate.
So there you go.
That's a good one for the holiday season.
Yes, exactly. A little something to make your pie and my pie baking in your kitchen easier.
Lovely. So now for the 1 week out, now people might not know this, and this goes back to what we would do in kitchens as chefs. We would look at what can be made in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the point where you make salad dressings.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have made them 2 weeks ago. Right. Salad dressings. Mix up the ingredients for your dry brine. Croutons. If you make your own homemade croutons, make croutons. Breadcrumbs.
Right. Yeah. You pour through all of your recipes. If there's different,
pie crust.
Pie crust for sure. If there's elements of recipes, 100% pie crust could have been made in October. So what are you waiting for? Make your pie crust.
Make your pie crust. You're already behind. What Ami does also is even make cookie crusts and freeze them. For cheesecakes and stuff.
Yeah, you could make cheesecake crusts. You know what I do? I know you don't do this, but I do. Fruit pies can be fully assembled, filled, assembled, and completely frozen.
They can.
And then you can bake it from frozen. Mm-hmm. And Gemma doesn't like to do this. I do like to do this, and it works. So it's pretty amazing.
You have there's a big pie push in your house on the day, so I get it. Yeah. But you absolutely can. Yes, for sure.
But when you're selecting pies, I mean, first of all, most people don't decide that they're going to make all the pies. I am controlling about the pies, and I feel emotional about pies. So I decide. People love my pies. So I'm what, I'm particular about pastry. So I'm I'll just do it. But I do like things like pecan pie and pumpkin pie can be made the day before easy.
It should be.
And they should be made the day before. Cheesecake, which is also a lovely addition to indulgent and delicious.
It's a great one to add to the mix.
2-3 days in advance. You can make cheesecake. You can make your cheesecake topping that you would just do. All of that can be done very clear of Thanksgiving. I know you can freeze cheesecake, which I don't normally do, but
I wouldn't be my choice either.
I feel like the crust would go funny, but I don't know if it would or not. I'm just, maybe you can, but definitely assemble your fruit pies. And if you don't want to freeze them, you can even assemble fruit pies and hold them the night before.
Yes.
Also, don't forget about crisps and crumbles, which are, have a very pie-like satisfaction without ever having to roll a pie crust. So easy. You put everything in a pie dish. You make your crumble or your crisp topping ahead of time.
Put it in the freezer.
Yeah. And then you strategize of desserts. Cakes, if you want to make a bundt cake to feed a lot of people, that can be fully baked, wrapped up well, frozen. And then all you have to do is unwrap it the morning of.
Yeah, and what I like to do is refresh it a little bit, keep it have it in foil and refresh it in an oven for a few minutes just to like literally kind of give it a new life. This is also a good time, Ami. So you can like now a week out, you could have done this like the week prior, but shopping. Go do all your shopping. Get your spices, get your mixes, whatever it is. Go do all your shopping. Now there's fresh fruit and veg and stuff that you might want to hold off on.
Right. Sturdier things like carrots, potatoes. Some things will last. Apples will last.
Yes.
You can definitely
Asparagus won't last.
Yeah, right. Like more tender greens,
Tomatoes.
fresh herbs.
Yeah.
Some of those things won't. Yeah, you may not be able to do, but much of it you can.
Now, can I also say this is a very good time to sit down and make your kind of a plan of work. So what you're going to do for like even on the day, like write down what you're going to do on the day, because then you're like, oh, wait a second. I just realized I do not have time to make cinnamon rolls on the morning of Thanksgiving or Christmas. I need to start that, or it's a no-knead dough. I need to start it the day before.
Right. You have your production timeline, basically starting on Monday. Thanksgiving is on a Thursday. The production timeline should start on Monday or Sunday.
Yeah.
If you whatever day you're like kind of finish up your shopping, and then you're going to have your list. What am I doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah. And then on the day. And if you figure that out now, you will always, it still happens to me that you're like, oh no, I didn't realize this dough needs this resting time. I just realized when I took a step back and looked at the menu, we actually have two things of very different temperatures in the oven at the same time.
Right.
Do you need now to, allocate a recipe to somebody else, or like, or do you now sit down and look at, I have too many dishes, so like, this is really good to take that time before it gets hectic. Take a moment, get into your jammies with your wine, like Ami is saying she's doing, which does sound delightful. I'm not criticizing. Oh no, believe me, I've tried.
Lovely.
Try it. I invented it. More of a gin and tonic for me, but do that now, because anything that pops up that maybe needs to be changed, you have time to do it.
Yeah.
And this is what preparation buys you. It buys you time.
Yeah.
And it gives you headspace also.
So and now you've prepped within an inch of your life all the way up until the day before. What are we doing the day before?
So the day before, this is a tip that I learned from my mom, and I see that Kevin's sisters actually do it too. It's really great, because you think like that'll take 10 minutes. It doesn't take 10 minutes. Pull all your dishes. Pull your
such
plates,
a good idea.
your knives and forks, your side dishes. Pull your serving dishes for the turkey, for the mashed potato, for the whatever. Get it all out and accessible. It saves, you think like, oh, that'll only take a few minutes the day of. Do not leave that until the day of.
Yeah.
Because you'll have enough to deal with.
Yeah.
Get that done before.
And that's actually kind of interesting with the serving dishes and stuff, because depending on the size of your table, are you going to do buffet, or are you going to put all the food in the middle of the table? Maybe like lay out your serving dishes so you know exactly where everything goes, and making sure everything fits. If you have a centerpiece, then, and you have your dishes somewhere else, your serving dishes, then you can, but if you like put the empty plates out, you can kind of visualize it too.
Yeah.
And that's really helpful.
Good, yeah, it is.
Yeah. The one thing that always trips me up still, I love the idea of setting the table. Also, again, this is all about like feeling festive. If you get a chance to really enjoy a beautiful table on the day that you're cooking, you're going to get some visual delight out of it. In decent light, look at, if you're using cloth napkins, look at your linens, make sure they're not stained, deal with them, and iron them. I can't tell you how many times I've gone and like pulled out like the fancy napkins, and I'm like, oh, they were washed and like thrown in a basket and totally crumpled, and now I have to go spend like unexpected time ironing linens.
For sure.
You could even do that a week out, just not the plates obviously on your dining table, but like check your linens if you're using linens, and get them all ready.
It's these things that you think are little, and then that's a half an hour doing this, and that's a half an hour doing that. Or you realize, you go to do your linens and you have 20 people coming and you've got 14 linens.
Yeah. Oh, I have a really good idea for that one.
What's that?
In the spirit of gifting yourself things.
Napkins are not a gift, Ami.
No, just hear me out. So I use tea towels all the time. I use them to wipe up tables. I use them to wash dry dishes. I use, and they get really worn out. So I don't necessarily need to do this every year, but this year I will probably do this. My linens are all just like, they're really raggedy. They're worn. There's some stains I can't get out of them. So I will go to, we have IKEAs near us, and they have tea towels that are extremely inexpensive, 50 cents each. or you can look online. But I will go and give everybody a fresh tea towel as a napkin. It's super rustic, but we're very casual in our house. So like nothing is all that fancy. And I will wrap up, and I'll like fold it nicely. Everyone will use a fresh tea towel as their napkin. And then after Thanksgiving, I wash those. Those become my fresh tea towels for the year or two. And the old raggedy ones just become house rags until they're done.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's kind of a fun.
That's a gift that keeps on giving, Ami.
Yeah. And they're cheap. They're so cheap.
Are.
Yeah. So just a little tip.
I often think there's tea towels in my house, as you know, that have been around for donkey's years.
Oh, and this only works with like
this
only works with like those flour sack tea towels. Like you can't give everyone like a towel.
Yes.
But you can give everyone like a little thin, lint-free something. So back to being on the day before. This is when you can chop up everything. Anything that you are cooking the day of, anything that you have, like, any vegetable that has to be roasted, any herbs that need to go into a sauce or whatever. Like if you've got a recipe that needs a bunch of herbs, if you have a stuffing that you're not going to make the day before, you're going to make the day of, do all the chopping, chop the onions, chop the celery, chop all the parsley and the thyme and all the herbs that you need, put them in a Ziploc bag in order of, or some sort of reusable container, and you put them.
I just say that to that note, I've learned this. Put the onions in a Ziploc bag and other stuff in the containers. Because you'll have to throw away the container after the onion.
Oh, I guess so. I guess so.
I've had to throw away containers.
Yeah. I mean, we wash and reuse our Ziploc bags until they get holes in them. So
really?
Yeah, we save them all. You just wash them. I mean, unless it's held like raw meat.
How do you dry them out though?
You just hang them like on a water bottle or whatever else is like, you just kind of, and then you like it dries after like a, day. It's,
okay. Do you know what? I don't know why I'm questioning that, because I do it when we get the food in the compostable bags. I take the food out, I let them dry on the counter and they're dry like in minutes, and then I save them and use them again.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, unless it's held raw meat or something like that, I always wash and reuse them. So anyway, you like chop up everything, anything that you can just then open up a bag or open up a container and dump it in a pan to saute, throw it on a baking sheet to bake, get everything ready. Literally, I think the only thing that this doesn't work for are apples, which can get brown, and potatoes that can get brown. But both apples and potatoes can be totally prepped and held in water.
Lovely.
So yeah,
absolutely.
You just eliminate all of the chopping out of your life.
Yeah, those are great tips. Also, you've probably definitely at this point your meat should be brining. If you are brining, I will tell you, do a dry brine. Wet brines take up all that space in your fridge.
They're very difficult.
It's very difficult. Yeah. Dry brine works really well. And then also my trick from last year, because we hosted Thanksgiving last year. This is an Ina garden trip, and if anybody's going to give you good advice, it's Ina.
Yeah.
She has perfected the art of Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving in particular. She says, often don't be afraid to buy a big ham. Do ham as your protein, as your big main thing, and buy a cooked ham. Go to a nice butcher, supermarket. Whole Foods does a really good ham. They do like different, you can get a different variety at Whole Foods, and it's really good quality and yummy.
Yeah.
That's what I did last year. It made my life so much easier.
So people don't feel emotional about turkey? Because I can't do anything but turkey.
We would never. Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, everyone wants it so badly.
No, I don't think, not in Kevin's family. Oh, do you know what? If they did on me, they didn't tell me.
They went home and it just had turkey by themselves.
I'm going to go ask Kevin now. They spite ate turkey on them.
There's so much with Thanksgiving. There's so much about the sides. I mean, I feel like I mean, the turkey always seems to be like the main event, but I feel like it hardly is.
Now I'm going to be that person now it's a bit of a Debbie Downer, but on the note of prepping and everything like that, this is also a good time. Maybe if it's an Evite, if your Thanksgiving meal was an Evite or a family thread or whatever, maybe just send a reminder about what time you're planning on serving lunch. As the chef, or your tea or whatever it is, as the chef, you are running on a timeline, and you just don't want anybody to show up late for that. Right. So that's a personal thing.
Yes.
I would just say, and then at the last minute, this is funny. At the last minute, if somebody says, "I'm on my way," what can I bring? I couldn't bring a salad, or can I get something extra? Will I bring an extra dessert? It's like, no, we already have a lot of stuff. We talked about this before. Ina says no to this. A bottle of wine. I would say bring a bottle of wine. Number one, in Ireland, you'd never show up empty-handed. You'd always show up with a bottle of wine if you were to be empty-handed. I'm doing air quotes now if you're watching on YouTube. So, but Ina says, no, because then the host feels under pressure to open that bottle for that person. I know you said you feel that when you bring a bottle of wine somewhere, you want them to open it because it's a bottle of wine that you like.
Oh, I don't bring a bottle of wine that I'm desperate to try.
No.
Like
I just bring a bottle of wine and
Yeah,
I never would expect it to be opened.
No,
Well, she said there is an expectation and a reminder, don't bring flowers. Remember?
Yes, flowers are hard because the host has to deal with it. But you know what is an unexpected hostess present that I've been given?
What?
Is a bag of granola, like a homemade, or a jar of granola. Because look, so much of the dinner is like sort of, you don't need it, but like it's lovely because after you've hosted, the next day you get this, like someone's made you breakfast.
That's nice.
It's so nice and it's so unexpected and it's great. I really like, I think that's a lovely, lovely gift. And we have a really delicious granola recipe on Bigger Bolder Baking.
That's true.
And that we should, that you should make and
That's
package up
nice.
for your friends.
Yeah. Oh, and can I just say this before we move on to the day of?
Yeah.
The day before, if you're doing cinnamon, people often, we see this on the website. There's a huge spike around the holiday season for French toast casseroles, for not as much pancakes and stuff because they're harder to cook off, but like the bigger dishes, the cinnamon rolls, the morning buns, all those things. Make your dough, roll it, get them into the pan, cut in the fridge, proofing overnight. Do not mess with cinnamon roll dough the morning of the holiday.
Yeah.
So do all that stuff the day before. Now we're going to talk about the day of, Ami.
Okay.
We're taking the day off.
That's it. I'm all done. So what do you got, Gemma? What are you doing first thing day of?
Well, I have on my list here, communicate to your guest. Wow, I'm really stuck on this one.
I always think you tell your guests to, like, maybe if you're planning on serving dinner around 4, we do later.
Tell
5.
earlier.
I just tell everyone to come at 3.
Should lie. Definitely.
No, not because they're late, because I want everyone to hang out and have a glass of champagne and feel good and be happy. Hang out with me. I like company in the kitchen.
Oh. No. Hold on a second now.
You don't want company in the kitchen?
One of my things is be prepared that people will be in the kitchen on top of you. Those were actually my words.
But is that a wrong thing?
No, it's not a wrong thing.
I want people to be on top of me.
This should be therapy. As if every time I host something, people are on top of me in the kitchen talking to me as I'm pulling an 18-pound bird out of the oven.
Yeah, but then you have to
It absolutely is the heart of the house. It's where everybody gathers.
Sure.
Naturally, everybody over the centuries have done this.
Yeah.
It just can be hard on the chef.
Mm-hmm.
So it's lovely. But here's the thing. If you're prepared and you have your mashed potatoes are done and you have your turkey is resting or whatever it is, you do have the headspace and the moment to stop and to talk to that person and not think what other 15 is my gravy burning.
Right.
So being prepared does allow for, while you're cooking Thanksgiving dinner, to Ami to walk into your face and start telling you about her stuffing. Okay?
Okay,
so
fine.
be prepared for that.
Fine. I'll be prepared to give you space. Okay. So what are we doing the day of?
Okay, the day of. So the day of, make sure that your meat is sitting out at room temperature to let it get to room temperature for a few hours. They always recommend that.
For a few hours, like a turkey or something?
Okay, I'm not going to give you an exact, yes,
Yeah. But,
I do. I leave it out for a few hours. You'll find times on the internet.
Yeah.
Do what you feel comfortable with.
Right.
I let the puppy sit out.
Yeah.
Because you do not want a very, very cold piece of meat going into an oven for a long, extended period of time.
Sure, it takes a really long time.
Yeah. Get on your potatoes for mashing. Pull out all that stuff that you put into a fridge. Let your vegetables sit out for a few hours. Raw carrots are fine. Sure. Have your eyes on all those things. As they say in Ireland, better to be looking at it than looking for it.
Sure, absolutely.
So, Ami, when you're, filling me in on all your goings on, I'm not wondering where my onions are.
Okay, my biggest tip for Thanksgiving, pies take a long time. They can take whatever pies you're baking that day. If you're baking pies, take an hour and 15 minutes sometimes. And then they have to rest all day before you're ready to cut into them. So wake up as early as you can, get your first pie in the oven, and then stop, make yourself coffee, make yourself breakfast, sit down, and fuel before you go on. Because if you don't stop and do that, you are going to be hungry and cranky, and you'll probably make mistakes, and everything will feel disorganized. Like, just take care of yourself.
Yes.
You'll feel good because a pie is in the oven, so something's happening.
That's great. That's a good point. I think I'm kind of realizing that the day of is a little bit, the majority of the work is done. Mm-hmm. Now it's bringing it all together. I will say, don't be afraid to delegate. Mm-hmm. Kevin, set the table. The bin is full. Don't take out the bin. Get somebody else to take out the bin. There's 15 people in your house.
Yeah.
Delegate. Get somebody to. Do not start pouring wine for people as get somebody else to do that. Like, you know what I mean? I would say delegate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm projecting right now. Can you see? Can you sense that?
Well, I'm excited. I'm hungry. Okay, Gemma.
Yes.
I think it's time for the bold baking hotline.
Okay.
I
thought you were going to say something to eat. I was like, I didn't make anything. What is she talking about?
I have a couple questions for you, and then maybe you have a question for me.
I don't think
Let's
so.
see. All right. What tips do you have for prepping dinner rolls for the holidays?
Yes. Make the dough the day before. Proof it. Roll it. Put them in the pan. To like batch bake. Cover them tightly in cling wrap so the air doesn't get at them. The next morning, take them out. Do yourself a favor. Don't wait to have softly baked rolls coming out of the oven. When you have time and space in your oven, get those in.
Yeah.
Because because then the recipe says 20 minutes and it turns out your rolls took 45 minutes.
Right.
So definitely take them out the next morning, let them proof at room temperature a little bit more, egg wash them into the oven.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I have a tip for that. Buy them.
Okay. That's also a very good one.
Someone had submitted a question. I'm making a recipe with buttermilk and I ran out. What are you going to do?
Do you know what? So this is a good way to highlight the bold baking basics. Buttermilk, how to make whipped cream with 2 ingredients, evaporated milk,
condensed milk,
condensed milk.
Yeah.
Lots of our bold baking basics blow up this time of year. When you're missing an ingredient and it could be last minute, go to biggerbolderbaking.com. That's there.
Homemade brown sugar is a good one.
Homemade brown sugar is a great one.
Yep.
Homemade pumpkin pie spice, homemade mixed spice. How to make buttermilk is 1 cup of milk and 2 teaspoons of what I like to use is lemon juice, and let it sit. I often say a few minutes, and then it's ready to use. And you're talking about your pancakes and all the things, marinades even.
Yeah,
you're done with marinating.
Yeah, right. Well, dry brines or whatever. Yeah. It is.
Okay, Ami, some easy appetizers for the holidays.
What are some easy appetizers? Well, Gemma, a couple of years ago, we made these really amazing savory shortbreads that are so lovely. We had
Do you remember?
It was like a fig and blue cheese and fig, and we did a cheddar with something in there.
Pecans.
Yeah, cheddar and pecan.
Do you remember?
So good,
They
so
were
nice.
delicious.
Yeah, really good. So that's a also unexpected.
With a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And the blue cheese was so salty.
Yeah, rich and indulgent, kind of perfect for the holidays. We also have ham and cheese pastry twists that are really easy. Make them with puff pastry and some diced up ham and cheese and twist them. Easy to make. Kids could make them. That would be kind of something special for them to like put together, if they want to, show off their baking skills.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Sausage rolls.
Pigs in a blanket, as you call them here. But is that hot dog?
Pigs in a blanket is hot
dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, both delicious. I love pigs in a blanket, or I love sausage. Either of those.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, and also at the end of the day, we'll finish on this note. Keep it simple. Mm-hmm. I know you think like, people will be disappointed if I don't do this. Make a newer pie or whatever it is. Believe me, as somebody who, as a guest at people's Thanksgivings and their Hanukkahs and their Christmases, to be invited to somebody's house is very special. I'm projecting again, the host goes to a lot of work. And she's very emotional. She tried really hard. But everybody, people are delighted to go somewhere and to be included and to be able to contribute. Absolutely. So keep it simple and have a lovely day. Yeah. And be prepared.
Yeah.
And on that note, Ami, stay out of my kitchen. When I'm trying to get work done.
That's fine. Whatever. I'll talk to someone else.
I really hope that you enjoyed this episode and got something from it. Ami, I think we should put those tips in the show notes.
Oh, sure.
Did you know we have show notes?
Yes.
We do now, and those tips are going to be there. I really hope you found this episode useful heading into the holiday season. Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch and listen to your podcasts, and we'll see you back here again really soon. From HRN and the Bold Baking Network, you are watching the Need to Know Baking Entertainment podcast.